Today's Cajun Court.
Well, ma'am, talk to me. I'm asking you the question. Stop looking at him. Ma'am, what are you doing? This is not a beauty parlor.
Sorry.
I don't need you interjecting and helping me.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, do you know who I am?
Yes, ma'am.
What's my name? Say my name.
Miss Jacqueline Scott.
Okay? I'm Justice Jackie. I can handle it, okay?
All rise. The Honorable Jacqueline A. Scott preside. Cajun Court is now in session.
Don't make me drop my hammer.
He's the drunk. He did pay.
Just a minute. If brains was dynamite, you couldn't even blow your nose. When the bull is up to your ears, keep your mouth shut.
I ain't going back to jail.
Because this is a railroad job. She probably slashed my tires with her
This
teeth.
isn't art, this is velvet penis.
An eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. Take it from me, you can overcome anything. Please change your life. Get him, Rod. Oh, we'll get along just fine when you realize I am the boss.
The plaintiff is suing the defendant because he failed to cater the plaintiff's daughter's Sweet 16 party. She claims that her payment was taken by the defendant without services being provided. The defendant is in a pickle of his own when he used the payment to provide for his young child at home. Find out what happens on today's episode of Cajun Court TV.
Cajun Court is now in session. The Honorable Jacqueline A. Scott is presiding. All of the litigants have been sworn in. This is case 1210, Sweet 16.
Let's get started here without any further delay. Seems like we have you're a little softy here. So I read through your complaint. I'm going to start with you. I want you to be clear and concise and tell me what's going on.
For my daughter's Sweet 16, I wanted to make it very special, of course. She's my only daughter. I love her, and I wanted it to be, you know, what she wanted. And I wanted it fully catered. I had people coming, I had a cake, and I went online and I saw on Facebook that there was a guy who had a catering company. The reviews looked okay, and I contacted him, and he agreed to do it.
That internet is something else. That Facebook, Instagram, and which one of them did you use?
It was Facebook.
Okay.
It was
and you
Facebook.
saw the defendant here, and you like what you saw. Explain to me what you saw.
Well, I mean,
triggered you to hire him.
I saw his picture on there, but I saw all the foods and the cakes and everything he had done before. I mean, the cakes were gorgeous. There were some great pictures.
And so how many guests did you invite?
We had about, well, I invited 20, but that's not how many showed up. But we were expecting a cake. We were having the full course. He was going to do everything. And when they walked in, there was going to be appetizers. I was going to supply the drinks, and I'm doing all the glassware, but he was going to do the appetizers. It was going to be fancy, but it was for 16-year-olds. I mean, it was just going to be like, you know, they're at somewhere special and they get to dress up.
And I know that's a special occasion for a young person, and 16.
Yes, I mean, I wanted it perfect. I had the whole house decorated. I had everything there. I even had limos bring her friends in. I mean, it was going to be special.
But okay, I ain't mad at you.
Yes, it was going to be great.
And so you met the defendant here, and he was supposed to do his job.
Right.
Did y'all have a written agreement?
He verbally agreed, and then I sent the money.
Okay. And how much money did you send?
Well, it was a deposit of $500, but I'm kind of one of those people, I like to dot on my I's, cross my T's. I like to have everything done way ahead of time. So I went ahead and sent the full $1,000, so I wouldn't have to worry about it later.
So tell me what ended up happening.
So on the day of the party, I have everything perfect. The kids are showing up in limousines. They're all dressed up. They're so cute. Thank God my sister was there.
Okay, I tell you what, hold that thought. I'm going to take a reset. I want to hear more, and we'll be back.
Okay.
Okay, we're back in session. Plaintiff, you had the limousines for the daughter. I'm sure she was excited. Hopefully she was grateful. You know, sometimes we do so much for these kids. And
I know.
but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what happened next?
You know, like I said, I'm so thankful that my sister was there because it would have been really bad. So anyway, everybody's there, and then, you know, I noticed the caterer isn't there yet, but I figured he's just running late. And then we're getting to the part where, you know, everybody's kind of getting antsy. We're waiting on food. Nothing happens. And
So what did your sister do?
well, she stepped.
Judge, I tried to call. Repeated number of times.
No.
She's taking a little minute, but I'll be right back. I want to hear what you have to say. So tell me, finish it up.
So long story short, he didn't show up. My sister
He
had
didn't show up?
Not at all. Nothing. I didn't get it. I had no communication, did not know he was not coming. I have all this crystal out, all the tables out, everything is out, waiting. The kids are even, you know, kind of waiting to eat because they're hungry. So my sister ended up, she called in a pizza order. We got pizza, which is not what we were
I know
going
you can
for.
eat that piece out of the crystal bowl.
Yeah, and she runs to Walmart to get a cake because we don't have a cake either.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Let me hear from the defendant here. Sir, how are you today?
I'm doing fine, Your Honor.
So you were hired to cater this party,
Yes, ma'am, I
a
was.
Sweet 16.
Yes, ma'am.
And so tell me about it. You got $1,000.
Well,
For
first
nothing?
off, I have on my Facebook site, I have on there that I only require half down deposit.
But you got full, okay.
But she
you
sent
were
me
blessed.
full. It kind of caught me off guard, but I was pleased to see the money.
I learned my lesson.
And I had all intentions of going through with everything. I'd already done the menu up. I knew what I was going to cook, prepare, everything. And just kind of emergency come up, and I realized I couldn't make it.
Okay, what
It would have been nice to let me know.
Well, I tried. I tried.
Plaintiff, I know this is a pretty salty situation, but let me just hear what he has to say, okay? And I'll be back to you.
Anyway, Your Honor, so as soon as I realized that I wasn't going to be able to live up to my commitment, I tried to call. I texted a couple times. I sent an email that detailed why I couldn't come. And
Any
I just-
response from the plaintiff?
No response whatsoever.
And what did you say in your text?
I told her that I had a family emergency that had come up and that it looked like I wasn't going to be able to make it. Could she make other arrangements?
What emergency could come up to spoil a Sweet 16
There's
party?
not one. There is not one.
Ma'am, I'm talking to the defendant here.
I'm sorry.
Ma'am, it was just a
Did somebody
family.
die?
no,
Did your
ma'am.
dog get hit by a car?
No, ma'am.
This is serious, a Sweet 16 party.
Well, Your Honor, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Honesty is always the best policy.
I hate to say this, it's very embarrassing, but I basically what I did is, whenever I received the $1,000, I was kind of on hard times. I'm a single parent myself, and I was kind of on
No
hard
excuse.
times, and I took the money as a sign, and so I kind of spent it on groceries for my family. And I had a job coming up that the week before her party that I intended to make enough off of to cover the money I had spent of hers. But it got canceled. And when it got canceled, I just didn't have the money anymore to pay for the groceries to supply the food for the
Oh,
party.
this is horrible.
And I just really didn't know what other to say than it was just an emergency.
Tell me about your family.
I have a young boy. He's 12, and his name's Ty, and he's a handful, and it's just us two. And I'll be honest with you, these day and times, just trying to make ends meet.
I tell you what, hold that thought. I need a little break. I'll be right back. So where's the child's mother?
Well, the mother, she has never been in the child's life, and she wasn't too much of a wife to begin with. Your Honor, and
Okay,
it's
tell me
just
no
us.
more. Is she paying child support?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So you started a catering business?
Yes, ma'am. I've always been a very good cook, and I'm just trying to. I thought that was the best opportunity for me, and so I thought this business idea would be a great opportunity. And I've had good success so far. This is.
Yeah, you know, there's an old saying my mom used to say, you rob Peter to pay Paul. So what you did was, sir, sounds like to me, you scammed this lady.
It might. we
Ma'am,
might-
I'm talking.
Okay.
And I'm sure you're old enough to know about respect.
Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me, continue, defendant. I apologize.
Yes, Your Honor. I don't have any excuse for what I did. I just would hope that you could understand the situation that I was in.
So that's why you didn't show up for the event and didn't do anything? You couldn't borrow the money?
No, no, Your Honor. I don't have any really family that lives near me, and all my time spent with my child, so I really don't have a lot of friends. So I really didn't have anybody that I could have borrowed it from.
So you're not married?
Ma'am,
Sorry.
I don't need you interjecting and helping me.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, do you know who I am?
Yes, ma'am.
What's my name? Say my name.
Miss Jacqueline Scott.
I'm Justice
Ma'am.
Jackie. I can
Yes.
handle it, okay? Proceed, sir.
But I didn't have anybody I could get the money from. My credit cards are pretty much maxed out. I just didn't have any other way to get it.
So you did one of those bald-faced lies.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Well, why didn't you just cancel ahead of time so she'd have notice? You didn't show up on the day of. Do you know how devastating that is? You know, the word of mouth is everything. Okay, ma'am, do you have evidence that you gave the defendant here $1,000?
Yes, ma'am. I have an invoice.
Let me see that,
Okay.
please. Yep. It says here paid in full.
Well, since I heard the whole story, I'm kind of.
Ma'am, I need you to get back behind the podium. Again, that's respect. I have some questions for the defendant.
Okay.
Now, sir, do you have any type of proof that you called the plaintiff here in?
Yes, Your Honor. I should have an email. Let me check my phone. Well,
I think you should have had some copies.
it
of your
looks like
defendant.
it's been more than 60 days, and mine are set to expire after 60 days. So, no, Your Honor,
So you don't have any proof,
I
but
don't
you-
have a copy of it. I
Okay.
didn't even think about it.
Okay. You know, I really want to hear more about your catering business. Tell me something about that. Did you go to school for it?
I'll be honest, Your Honor. I'm pretty much a self-made man. My mother was a good cook. My grandmother was a good cook, and I kind of picked up from them. I've always kind of had a knack where all the other kids were doing 4-H and stuff like that. I was in home ec. I got
Home ec.
picked on a lot, but it paid off in the long run. I think I could hold my own against any of them in
But
the
tell me
kitchen.
what kind of food you cook. I might want to use your service, but
I
I
mainly
won't pay
cook
you
a
up front.
lot of. I do a lot of cakes for weddings and stuff like that.
Decorative cakes, you decorate the way.
Yes, ma'am. And 2-tier and a 3-tier, and I also for a lot of functions I'll do. I've done both. I've even fried a lot of foods, fried fish.
Yeah, this.
stuff
Okay,
like
Cajun
that.
country fish and what about that crawfish? You,
Ooh, no, I can whoop up some mean crawfish. I'm gonna tell you.
okay.
I can. And like I said, I can do a bunch of Cajun dishes, etouffee, jambalaya, stuff like that.
Okay.
I've done for
Any
several
formal
occasions.
education for this?
No, Your Honor, all I have is just a high school education.
Well, let me get back to this plaintiff. And, ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
I want you to conclude your case.
If he'll come over and cook and still
I
come
don't
do that
believe-
catering thing, I'm not worried about the money anymore.
Rod, no other Cajun court. You want him to come over and
I do.
for $1,000?
Well, I didn't know his full story, and now I kind of know his whole story, and I thought maybe it would help him out, and I would like him to come over and still.
So, ma'am, are you
try-
saying you want to terminate your lawsuit against this defendant?
If he'll come over and go ahead and cook those meals? Well, will you agree to that?
Well, ma'am, talk to me. I'm
Oh.
asking you the question. Stop looking at him. Ma'am, I'm talking to you.
Whatever you would like to do, Your Honor.
I'd like to hear more, but I'm going to take a little break. And I'll be right back, and we're going to conclude this. Thank you. Okay, we're back in session. I think I've heard enough in this situation. You want to be a businessman, and that's not how you do business. You're struggling, you don't have the money, and what I'm going to do is, I think you should do something, since you cook so well. I think you should do something for the homeless. Now, the plaintiff here has said that she's not interested in getting any money from you. I don't know what she wants, but this case is going to be concluded. We're going to get you some help, and we're going to make sure that you feed the homeless. Okay?
Thank
I'll
you, Your
help.
Honor.
You just don't like that podium, do
I
you?
was going to volunteer to help too. I just want him to come over and cook $1,000 worth of meals.
Ma'am, what are you
Yes.
doing? This is not a beauty parlor.
I'm sorry.
No home training. This is court,
Cell
ma'am.
phone.
This is court.
Yes, ma'am.
Turn all this anger, this saltiness
Yes.
into forgiveness. Is that?
I want to. I would like to
If
help.
you need to go somewhere and get you some a business plan, business skills, you cook good. That's not enough. You need to be able to carry out your job. Okay? Now, the plaintiff is willing to forgive you. And this really seems like this is going to be one of those Cajun court Cinderella stories. And I want you to go and sin no more. Good luck on your business.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Takes over.
The plaintiff was awarded a $1,000 judgment today, and we're here to see what she plans to do with it. Plaintiff, what do you plan to do with your $1,000 judgment today?
Well, my hope is he could kind of just work it off and like come to my house and cook those dinners he was talking about. Do you know how to do any type oyster dishes? Or?
Yes, I do, and I'll even bring the wine.
Okay. Well, I think we are good then. I think if he'll come over there and do that, then I don't have to have the money. I'll take that.
All right, well, this is getting a little too steamy for me, so stay tuned for more episodes on Cajun Court TV.